Coming up on Mountain News this morning, in a rare move, the Hazard Independent School District has chosen to close for the rest of the week due to illness sweeping through the student body. And in Frankfort, a new medical marijuana bill cleared a major hurdle yesterday, but not for the reasons most would expect. And we take a look at how one group of bus drivers in Jessamine County are working together to help flood victims here in eastern Kentucky.
Dedicated to eastern and southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning. The time is 6:02 on February 27th. I'm Madison Pergram, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning on this Thursday morning. If you're just getting up, grabbing that coffee, be prepared to grab that bigger jacket because it is cold outside this morning. Let's go to Brandon Robinson. Brandon, it snowed across the region, some places more than others, but schools are closed in many places.
Right. I think it's because of the roads getting in pretty rough shape there this morning in some areas because road temperatures are falling, air temperatures are falling, which is not a good combination when roads were already wet. Let's take a look at live Pinpoint Doppler radar. As you can tell, the bulk of the snow, especially in those western counties, has pretty much wrapped up. Maybe some flurries still going on. Of course, there's some snow bands still going across the region, and the higher elevations got the most accumulation, but I've started to see a little bit of accumulation in some of the valleys now. But again, it's just one of those situations that it it was a bigger deal than it was supposed to be. Let's put it that way. Up to a low visibility there in Logan there, and you see some low visibility in some of those heavier bands of snow. Just kind of keep that in mind. Winter weather advisory across the region, or for parts of the region rather, until 7 there in Harlan and Letcher counties, until 10 for Wise, Buchanan, and Dickinson counties in southwest Virginia. Temperatures across the region in the 20s and 30s, 25 Wise and Logan, up to 30 there in some parts of the area, especially down to the south there towards Somerset, Jacksboro, Middlesboro. But when you factor in the wind chill, feels like the teens in a lot of areas right now. We are going to see the snow stick around through probably 7, 8, 9 o'clock this morning, and then they'll start to clear out. Cloudy skies will give way to sunny skies by the afternoon, but temperatures stay cold only in the upper 30s. The rest of the forecast on the way here in just a little bit. Madison?
Thank you, Brandon. Well, the Hazard Independent School District rarely cancel classes, but this week school officials say sickness numbers have forced them to do just that. Citing dwindling attendance, they called off school until Friday. WYMT's Dakota Makris talked with the superintendent, who said it needed to be done.
Hazard Independent schools rarely calls off classes for any reason, but
we have had several students that have missed a lot of school.
Wednesday, school officials decided to close school for the rest of the week due to illness.
Attendance has been very, very low the last couple days.
Superintendent Sandra Combs says officials noticed numbers were dropping.
And it dropped way below the 90% that we try to aim for.
Putting students' needs first.
The health and wellness of our students comes number one.
Sickness is like a never-ending cycle during the winter months.
It seems like this flu season that we get a handle on it. It's like it circles back around and then we're sick again.
And using this time off to
take off a couple days, let our janitors clean all the surfaces.
Hopeful, the extended weekend will give students time to get well. In Hazard, Dakota Makris, WYMT Mountain News.
Now, you should always remember to stay home if you are sick and to practice good hand washing during cold and flu season. Remember, you can find a complete list of school closings on our website at WYMT.com. And a group of Jessamine County bus drivers is cramming a school bus full of supplies for flooding victims in eastern Kentucky. Bus driver Jackie Tolson saw the damage in southeastern Kentucky. She partnered with the local nonprofit With Love from Harlan and is collecting donated non-perishable items and cleaning supplies. Tolson says Kentucky is a state where people help their neighbor when they need it. She says working with children has made her want to help out the students who are impacted.
When you see this many people that have been devastated, you know that there's kids in a lot of those homes, and you know those kids have lost everything. They haven't only lost their toys, which is very important to them, but they've lost the essentials of life.
The group will be collecting supplies until March 6th. In February is American Heart Month, and I stopped by ARH Cardiac Rehab to learn how people work to keep their heart healthy. it may just look like an average gym.
Most people do treadmill, new step, recumbent bike, the arm ergometer, and the step.
But the equipment here at ARH Cardiac Rehab is not just to get fit.
Yeah, at 184, excellent.
To get back into shape, strengthen their heart, their mortality. They have mortality benefits, decreased hospitalizations, etc.
For phase 2 patients, they first start by putting on a heart monitor and checking vitals after every station.
Number 3, and we've got to turn it on, this first button. RL, right here.
Larcina Evans, a registered nurse, getting them started.
You reset it, and then you're on 10 minutes or 8.
But Paul Hall is in phase 3 and has been a regular since 2007.
It's healthy, it's affordable, and it's very good. Got good treatment. The staff here are wonderful.
After nearly 1,400 visits, it's more than just getting exercise.
The camaraderie is my favorite part.
It is also about the people he works next to.
It keeps me going. My cardiologist says, come back in a year, and this time he said, come back one more year, and then I might recommend 2-year visits. So, it's good.
Making improvements and continually working towards a better, healthier tomorrow. Now, for the patients, they can visit cardiac rehab every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Well, a group of women in recovery were recognized for their hard work in Benham yesterday. Letcher County District Judge Kevin Mullins, along with Hunt Brothers District Manager Tim Fields and Addiction Recovery Centers, recognized the work going on at Lydia's House, a recovery center for women in Letcher County. This recognition is a nod to the dedication these women have to become clean.
That truly means a lot because a lot of good things go unnoticed, and I think it's wonderful that we are, people are paying attention, people are noticing the difference that we're making. We want the people to be aware that there is recovery and there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and there are different steps you can take to reach the recovery, and it's possible and it's very real.
Hunt Brothers donated all the pizza and wants the women's at Lydia's House to know they support their journey 100%. And the State House passed a bill yesterday to increase taxes on vaping products and other non-cigarette tobacco products. The measure would raise the estimated tax revenue $50 million during the next 2 fiscal years. The wholesale tax rate would increase from 15% to 25%. The bill now heads to the Senate. And a new medical marijuana bill cleared a major hurdle yesterday, passing a Senate panel. Senators asked for more clinical studies. Now, this bill is not the same as the one passed in the House last week. This one is primarily pushed by those who oppose legalizing medical marijuana. They say there are too many unknowns in cannabis and the medicines in it. Adding more studies need to be done. The bill will now move to the full Senate. In Kentucky, Republicans are criticizing a photo of Governor Andy Beshear taken at an LGBTQ rally. That's according to the Herald Leader. The photo shows the governor standing with 4 drag queens. State Senator Philip Wheeler of Pikeville criticized Governor Beshear, saying the Democratic Party is, quote, corrupting the values of our children, unquote. A Beshear spokesman fired back at Senator Wheeler, saying, quote, attacking the governor for taking a photo with a Kentucky citizen is shameful. They go on to say the governor is working every day to end the hateful and divisive politics that try to pit people against each other. And the largest bank in the United States says it will no longer give out loans to the coal industry. JP Morgan and Chase says will not provide financing to develop any new coal-fired power plants or refinance existing ones unless they utilize carbon capture technology. The move towards cleaner energy comes as another huge bank, Goldman Sachs, says they will no longer fund oil and gas projects in the Arctic.
Forecast this morning, the snow trying to move out, not quite gone just yet as we take a look at live pinpoint Doppler radar, but the slick roads are more of an issue this morning. Even Fayette County schools in Lexington on a 2-hour delay this morning. We have a number of closings and delays on our website at the bottom of the screen there. And of course, you can find those on our social media pages and the WYMT News app as well. We're taking a look at live pinpoint Doppler radar, and you're seeing, again, snow still coming down in some areas, at least some bands of snow. Temperature temperatures cold and getting colder in some spots. When you factor in the air temperature, or excuse me, the feels like temperature with the wind, it feels like in the teens in most locations, 14 there in Wise, one of the cooler spots, and it's almost 20 degrees colder in the actual air temperature from this time yesterday to today. Temperatures will climb, those skies will clear. We just got to get past the morning hump here, and we'll see those temperatures climb to right around 38 later this afternoon. Madison?
Thank you, Brandon, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, we go to Clay County, where one community is being overrun by birds and is now sounding the alarms to find a solution. And we'll show you how one man is doing work with the Kentucky Reptile Zoo to help snakebite victims in India.